Walker Honey Farm started in 1930 with G.C. Walker in Gause, Texas. He was a butcher, but bought some bees as a side hustle, and things were so lucrative that he just kept going. Walker Honey Farm really kind of came alive with his son, G.C. Jr., who upped the ante and got more and more bees and continued to grow. It's mainly grown in scope. We started with doing bees only, where we were doing pollination and honey production, but things have morphed over time into picking up the retail sales and the wholesale honey sales, as well as integrating some alcohol as well. My name is Blake Butler. I'm the Chief Operations Officer at Walker Honey Farm. I met Clinton Walker in second grade. We became friends, and I started working here during high school and then throughout college and throughout grad school. And then a little bit after, went off, did my own thing, and got in my blood and came back to the farm. Throughout the year, there are different periods of the calendar where bees know that they can find forage for carbohydrates, protein, and fat. Once the flowers start blooming, a lot of them have bright colors, which bees see in a different spectrum that we do. So they'll drink nectar from the flowers, store that, take it back to the hive, and they turn it into honey. We use Minnesota Hygienic Italian queens. 1 queen per hive. So each stack of boxes is a hive, and anywhere between 30,000 to 50,000 bees per hive. We'll range anywhere between 500 to 1,000 hives, which is relatively small for a commercial beekeeping operation. We have to have high peak numbers just because of some of the difficulties in the beekeeping industry. The national mortality rate per year is around 50%, which if cattle had that high of a mortality rate, there would be serious problems. I think sometimes the industry gets a little bit overlooked because there is such fast turnaround. You can make a new hive out of an existing hive much faster than you can birth a calf. Different flowers have different tasting nectars. Some honeys, as a result of that process, taste better than others. So obviously we want to move our bees to different places to be able to capitalize on a specific nectar source. Right now we have them in 3 different ecoregions. So we have some in the hill country near Llano, we have some here in central Texas on the Blackland, and then we have some in the post oak savanna, more in the sand southeast of here as well. The bees will make way more honey than they need. Last year we made roughly 40,000 pounds. You know, it used to be much higher than the standards for today. Bees are really not bringing in as much nectar as they used to. So it'll usually range somewhere between 15,000 and 40,000 pounds. My favorite part of the process is extraction days. That's where all of your hard work and the bees' hard work comes to fruition, and you get to see the end result. When we're out in the bee yard, we'll be pulling off those supers full of honey and putting them on drip pallets. We'll roll those into the extracting room and scrape off some of the wax. We'll run those through our deboxer, which pops the frames up and removes the box. We take those frames, we run them through our uncapper, which shaves the wax cap off the top of the frame so that the honey can freely move. And then from there into our centrifugal force extractor. So it just slings the honey out onto the side of the tank, and it slides down, goes through a sump pump, and then we pump it into barrels from there. When you see honey being pumped into the barrels, that really kind of reignites the fire for the next year, especially after you've had a rough winter, you come out of winter, you're not happy with how many hives have died over the winter. It's like, you can take a deep breath and okay, that's another honey crop that's on the books, moving forward. It feels good. That and it smells wonderful. We sell honey in H-E-B, in Brookshire Brothers, and there are a bunch of little mom and pop shops all across Texas that carry our product as well. Most of it gets sold here through our retail store. We sell way more honey than we can produce ourselves. That's another focus that we have, is sourcing different types of honey from all over the US and all over the world to bring the best flavors of honey to our customers. I like different honeys for different things. There are some extremely bold honeys like buckwheat. That's very earthy and tobacco-y, and it's great on biscuits, but you don't want a lot of it. But if I'm drinking tea and I want to sweeten it up, then I'm probably going to use some mesquite. But I think my go-to, and a lot of people's go-to, is just orange blossom. The bees make orange blossom honey from the actual blossoms of the orange trees while they're producing, and it gives it a little bit of a citrus flavor to the honey, which is wonderful. It's a great position to be in agriculture, but to be able to directly interact with your customers, to help them understand something a little bit better that's already near and dear to their heart. People love honey. It holds a special place for a lot of different people, and to be able to relate and see customers face to face that are buying your product is wonderful.